What's going on, everybody? This your boy King Gabe here, and we're here to dive into the history of Power Rangers Kroger Force versions 1 and 2. Yes, you heard me right. Power Rangers Kroger Force version 1 and 2. No, the thumbnail it reads Kroger Force Power Rangers. Yeah. Basically, that was the what I was the picture I was trying to get the AI to do. It just sort of came out that way, so I had to work. So I just had to work around it. It's one thing with Lisa AI; it's kind of random when you put in for it to do something. So gotta work with what you get on that kind of thing. So yep. So yeah. Probably a lot. This is being made in for like some the people from the different Power Ranger Facebook groups. One of which I had made some recent posts on, and one of the posts was stating that I had came up with Kroger Power Rangers back in the day. And matter of fact, this is even an old uniform, not a Ranger uniform, but the old uniform we used to wear at Kroger. We used to wear red for our uniform years ago before we switched to blue and the uniform that we're currently wearing now. So yeah, um, yeah. This is being made to explain about Kroger Force to a lot of you guys from the Facebook group, and also everybody else that's watching as well. Because I mean, see like, hey, what the heck is Power Rangers Kroger Force? Um, some of you may have seen this on a previous channel of mine. Um, which yes, but I'm re-uploading it to this one to be on this channel, and I will also have versions 3 and 4. So yeah, I actually have 4 different versions that I came up with a Kroger Force. Yeah, and yeah, you'll find out why. But in this one, it's just gonna be versions 1 and 2. Um, and also, I will be I will still be for those of y'all waiting for my Yamiko update. I will still be doing that. I still got that plan. I just stopped to do this to put this up for the people on the Facebook group. So here we go. Before I go into this, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Definitely buy some available books, and also support us on Patreon, just like the Patreon we do have, AJ the Supreme. Oh yes, so definitely get on that Patreon and do just like support us just like he's doing. Be sure to also even check out his channel and everything. Got some good stuff in there. Definitely worth checking out. And also, those of y'all who are new to the channel, especially from the Power Ranger group, about to watch this, definitely check out my other videos. Say my other videos as well, especially the ones about my Yamiko series, and see what all that's about. After you see this, as well as what I'll be coming out with a little bit later there. So let's get on into it there. Versions 1 and 2. This was kind of between 2005 to 2006, because I actually started working at Kroger in 2005. Yeah, and I'm still there now. So next year, I would have been at Kroger for 20 years. So because next year is 2025, and how ironic, 2025 is also when SBD takes place, and 2005 was when SBD aired. It's pretty. That's a lot of irony there, and then also the fact I came up with Power Rangers Kroger Force around that same time, and something involving SBD came up in there, but we'll get to that there. So anyway, starting with version 1. Version 1, that was it was, I guess you could say, kind of like it was sort of like just kind of getting started with everything. Sort of, I guess, like a prototype. Some people would call, like, when sometimes people have like what their like when they get in their movie together. Like Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Like how they had the first ever trailer, where you just saw Optimus Primal show up. Roar! Who are you? Why are you hunting for the key? But and then Optimus Prime, stand down. I'm not the one you need to fear, Optimus Prime. There is a darkness approaching. And you saw all these different clips, of the battle and all that. Now, when the actual movie comes out, some of it stayed the same as what you saw in the trailer, and some was different. And that happens all the times with movies in general. A lot of times they because the trailer, they're still getting the movie in development, so yeah, they have to show you something. Um, and in some cases, like Paranormal Activity 3, you get a completely different movie from the trailer, somewhat. So yeah, there's that. So going into Kroger Fort, version one, um, it starts off yours truly as, of course, the Red Ranger. My character in the series was called Tyson Reagan, and then the other Rangers, other employees that would become Rangers, there was, let's say, I know there was Jonah. I didn't can't think of his last name. It was Jonah, Susie, excuse me, Erica, and I want to say possibly Eric. Yeah, I'm just gonna say Eric. That's yeah. So we got Eric and Erica. So might hey, why not? So the five of them, they became a great evil attacks Kroger, known as Krieger. Krieger was a rival store. That's a rival store of Kroger I made up. So yeah, so I guess some of y'all probably thinking like what? Well, who they gonna fight against? Brookshire's or Walmart? And and speaking of which, I gotta say, I mean, it was some jokes that were kind of nah, but yeah, but for the most part, it was understandable. Some of the jokes that came in response to this, just saying. Um, and one thing to let y'all know, make sure y'all keep your comments family friendly in the comment section. Yeah. Now I understand Facebook, is a little different in the group. Everybody got their own rules and do what they want that in their own groups. But yeah, yeah, on my channel here, yeah, let's keep everything family friendly. I'm just saying, But I know we like to have our playful teas, but let's keep it family friendly, okay? So with that, so Krieger, the rival store, um, they send some evil aliens, of course, led by the evil Kisura. They one of the first enemy they send is I think he's like a sort of like, because I know there's a sea dragon involved. Um, I guess I want to say something like a sea dragon, like an anthropomorphic sea dragon, kind of. He's kind of humanoid like, and he's called Sidara. Funny thing, when that name has actually been used before I even came up with this. It was actually a Digimon I made up way back, even further back, for season 4 of Digimon, when they did all the spirit evolutions and stuff. And I imagined myself with the spirit of water, Sidaramon, human spirit of water. So now Sidara is being used for an enemy. Yes. Well, it won't be the first time something like that happened. Yeah. Beast Wars, I had a character called Catatron. Maximize! And then Catatron became a villain in some of my other works. So, yeah, it kind of happens there. Weird stuff. Anywho, so Sidara attacks the store, and the foot soldiers he has is called the Rock soldiers. Dun 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 dun. And Tyson and Tyson, Erica, Eric, Jonah, and Susie are all sent out. They have morphers and everything. Tyson leads them in the battle as the Kroger Force Red Ranger. Um, Eric becomes Kroger Force Black. Jonah Kroger Force Blue. Susie Kroger Force Pink, and that of course leaves Erica as Kroger Force Yellow. Five of them they battle the Rock Soldiers and of course Sidara, with of course different Kroger Ranger weapons. Uh, so now you get to hear what how I thought what I thought of for that. Um, Kroger the Kroger Black Ranger, he had what was called the Defender Wheel, sort of like a actual, like Captain America's shield, but it's an actual, but it's a wheel that's used as a shield, the Defender Wheel, of course. And then of course, Sue's Kroger Force Pink, she had the Auto Blaster, which sort of looks like our little handhelds at the store. That's gonna be that Auto Blaster is gonna be mentioned again in something else. So yeah, but I ain't gonna tell you what just yet, but you'll hear when it comes. So yeah, she has an Auto Blaster, sort of like a little laser blaster. Um, and then Erica has, I want to say, these stone daggers, forklift daggers. Sorry, forklift daggers, or like from the actual forklift that forklifts we use separate pallets and stuff in the store. Um, and Kroger Blue, I think he had the I guess he just had. I think he just had the Kroger drill. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I had in mind. And of course, Mike, yours truly, Tyson Reagan, he had what was called the Bascard Saber. Now, how is actually a sword made from the very metal of the shopping carts. And there's a little thing to that Bascard Saber. Um, for a finishing move, Tyson can actually hold the sword up, sort of like He-Man, and a whole a bunch of shopping carts would gather into that sword, the metal, breaking up into the metallic and all that, and the sword becomes bigger. Then, like, Bascard Saber, Final Strike, slash, and when he swings that big sword down, imagine a whole big line of shopping carts come at say Sidara, for example. So like, no, and then all these shopping carts rapidly hit him. Sparks flying from it, everything. And blows up like traditional, Power Ranger fashion. The monster, and then falls down and explodes. and of course, your hero, your Rangers, or even the Megazord, sometimes they would, they would pose in front of the explosion. Oh yeah. So, typical fashion there. So they end up defeating the Rock Soldiers and Sidara, of course. But then Kodran emerges, an actual sea dragon, sort of like a Leviathan, kind of. And this is where they have to call for the Kroger Zords. For version 1, I'm taking a moment. if y'all, if there's at any point in this video that you're gonna bust out laughing, I advise at least you pause, so that way you won't miss what I'm saying. Now, that's all I'm saying. Yeah, no, you won't miss what I'm saying. So yeah, if you're like about to go laughing hysterically, make sure you pause first. So, uh, so the Krogosaurus for version 1. Um, for Kroger Black, you had the Kroger Patrol Car. It seems kind of normal. I guess like the security of the store. So Kroger patrol car. Um, Kroger Blue had a Kroger drill tank. Okay. Not sure what Kroger would need with a drill, but okay. um, maybe from the, I guess from the corporate warehouse or something. I don't know. Kroger Kroger Yellow had the Kroger forklift there. That explains her weapon. Also explains Kroger Blue and Black's weapons too. Yeah. However, Kroger Pink and Red. This is where it's Kroger Pink had the Kroger Crane Zord, and Kroger Red had the Kroger Dragon. Now, of course, that now don't get me wrong. I mean, come on, a dragon and stuff. That's I mean, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, but looking back on it, you think about this, Kroger. Yeah, yeah, you kind if you if yeah, the thing is why and how did Kroger have affiliation with a dragon? Yeah, you just got yeah, it's just kind of a head scratcher there. So yeah, you got these five Zords, and the way they combine, the patrol car becomes the body, and then the forklift and drill attached to it as arms. Then the dragon goes into a formation where it becomes the Megazord's legs, the back of the body with its own wings, of course, and I guess the dragon hands kind of form around somewhere, and then the dragon head opens up sort of like Voltron's mouth to reveal the reveal the Megazord head, and then the crane, attaches as an extra set of wings. And there's your Kroger Force Megazord. Yeah, like I say, okay, because I did have somebody in the comment section, amongst the different comments I got about this idea. One person was, because I even mentioned in the post that yeah, it was kind of that that some of you might think that this is a little silly, but one of the people commented and said like, no, this wouldn't be silly. This concept would actually could actually work. Maybe as something else there, which that is a good point. I do have a story idea later in the future that would kind of recycle the Kroger Force stuff because obviously Power Rangers is already licensed by Saban, so yeah, I would have to have if I were going to do some of these ideas, I have to do it another way to keep from getting sued by Power Rangers. so so of course. So yeah, the Megazord defeats Kodran, Big Kroger Sword Slash, and then after that, get some other episodes. One involves a monster called Tratus. It has the ability to switch places with somebody else to try to help him infiltrate the Kroger store. However, in his attack, he accidentally switches Tyson and Erica, accidentally has them switched in each other's bodies, and this causes a big argument among. Yeah, they kind of argue a lot as they're trying to get back to normal, and yeah, there's that them trying to get back in the right bodies and defeat Tratus, of course. A few episodes later, there's there's a Kroger carnival going on. A monster with wind powers attacks the carnival, trying to disrupt everything. And Susie Kroger Pink actually manages to save the day with a new weapon combined with an auto blaster called the Wind Cannon. And yeah, wind versus wind. Hmm. So she manages to save the day in that episode. And then much later, there's always that Sixth Ranger. Well, I was trying to think of a color that had not been done before. You got You always get like white, black, green, all that, silver and titanium and gold, all this. So I thought about what about a beige ranger, which I know is a shade of yellow, but yeah, a beige ranger. So much like how in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, where they had the evil Green Ranger, the Beige Ranger, of course, fights against the other Kroger Rangers under an evil spell, and he even manages to swipe a Zord that's being worked on by Kroger for himself, the Kroger Truck Zord, which becomes the Kroger Truck Megazord mode. Yeah, yeah. So there's battles between him and the other Rangers until, of course, they manage to break the spell. Also, the Beige Ranger's weapons are actually what to say? Oh yeah, the Beige Ranger's weapons are actually I think that's right, Kroger Truck Blade Sword. Yeah, so yeah, he has a sword too, and also fire cannons there. And with that, they finally get him on their side. I think this was in version 2. Now I know it wasn't in version 3 or 4, but um, it may this I know it for sure it was in version 2, but this may have been in version 1. Um, there was an there was this guy that we worked with back at my old Kroger when I first started, way when I was writing this in 2005, 2006. Um, and in my Kroger Force series, I called him Frank, like old man Frank, and that was a thing that he was a. I think he helped them out to defeat the Beige Ranger and revert him, break the evil spell. Um, I think he was. I think he morphed into like the Crystal Ranger. I'm not sure what I called that, but he had like these ice powers, and his weapon was a hammer. So, and he was supposed to be like grooving and moving, you see some guys, like some of the what they call the old man, and they say, "Well, this old man is still grooving." Mm 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 mm. Yeah. What's up, scat cat? Yeah. So yeah, it was probably something like that. Yeah. So of course they get the Beige Ranger on their side, and I had to get a little drink there. Then of course the Kroger truck is able to combine with the other Kroger Zords. I'm not completely sure how the formation in that was exactly, um, but yeah, but they all do come together, all six Zords now. Uh, so anywho, after that, few other things I came up with for version 1. One involved, you know how in SPD they have the SWAT mode, right? Well, there was an idea I had called Cycle Armor Mode, which involved their motorcycles that they got, the Kroger cycles, and which I know we have seen something like that with the Rangers, where they have combined with their motorcycle as armor. I know Lightspeed Rescue did that there, so it's not the first time that's been done. But but when I thought about it, my mind was thinking of the SWAT mode armor from SPD, uh, as well as also. So yeah, they combine with their Kroger cycles for armor, uh, cycle armor mode. Then they also are able to have an extra set of Zords, the Kroger Cycle Zords, that combine into the Kroger Cycle Megazord. As like Brute when he reacts to the SWAT Megazord. Oh no, the SWAT Megazord. I guess in this case, oh no, the Cycle Megazord. So yeah, I think it's basically it's like five. I think it was just like the five Rangers that had them, or possibly it was all six of them. Not completely sure about that formation, but it was a thing. So yeah, so there was that, and that was pretty much all I had for that I remember from what I came up with version one. And now we go into version two. Version two. Now this is where it really got good. And yeah, it does have some silly moments, yeah, because I mean, Kroger Force Power Rangers, but compared to version one, definitely yeah, good, sort of like the Bag Boy cartoon that I mentioned in the I think I commented to somebody about, I think they were talking about paper or plastic in the comment section, and I was like, you might want to check out the Bag Boy cartoon that I found a long time ago. Hey, hi, I'm Bag Boy. Would you like paper or plastic today? Oh, I have to mark this item way down. So, yeah, that w- that would be pretty interesting if Bag Boy actually made a cameo in Kroger Force. so, so with that said, so into version two. So it started off. Of course, my character is still Tyson Reagan. This time you have other Kroger employees. You have I want to say Kiki. Yeah, Kiki, Cece, Alex, and Donald this time. So yeah, the only person that's still the same is Tyson Reagan. Uh, so it starts off where Tyson. Oh, excuse me. Oh, where the manager, the assistant manager, Randy Nelson. That's a made up name of Randy Nelson that called for Tyson to come to the front to help bag. Tyson comes up there all right, but he comes in on his skateboard and tries to do a skateboard jump. Now, that's a big difference between Tyson and myself. I am not a good skater. In no way, shape, or form. Uh, so you in real life, you would not see me on no skateboard, and you definitely would not see me on any kind of skates. So because I tried to roller skate once, a couple of times, didn't quite work out for me. So yeah. So only in Kroger Force as my character Tyson would that be possible. So he tries to jump over the register completely. He almost makes the jump, but he ends up crashing into these little things where they keep all the plastic bags, like for bagging the groceries, and that's gotta hurt. He gets up. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. The customer's like, are all your employees this energetic? No, just this one. And there was a random moment that I put in there. Doesn't At least it didn't go, at least as far as I wrote up to for version two. I never really touched back up on this, but Randy had a flashback of when he first met Tyson in an alley, and not sure. I know Tyson was obviously younger than what he is now, because he's a teen. They're kind of teen young adults in this series. Teen to young adult. Because I was like 17 when I first started at Kroger. So yeah, it's like teen to young adults. Like between 17 to 20, something like that. And what so Randy had found Tyson in his alley somewhere and took him in. When I wrote that scene, I was thinking in terms of a scene from Sayuki, when Sanzo had a flashback of when he met Son Goku. He's like, why did I pick him up? Yeah, kind of like that. And of course, that scene in the very first episode with those two was really funny. Like, your your companion wishes to take fruit from the merciful goddess. Tell him to come down. He's not my companion. He's guilt by association, and that's all. Come down, Goku. Dinner is over. Huh? Where are we going? Are you taking me to a real restaurant? Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh. Shut up! no, hey, what are you doing? Just shut up or I'll do it again. And if you don't go now, I'm gonna kick you harder. Yeah. Well, how could he ever pick up something like that? Don't act like I'm not here. Besides, what I pick up or throw away is none of your concern. Pick up? You mean like a disease? Shut your mouth and move your butt. Yeah. I think that was the funniest scene in the first episode there. So anyway, yeah, there's that. Don't think it really would go anywhere, but it was there. You, sort of like a lot of shows. Sometimes they have certain scenes that every so often you get that one scene that don't seem like it goes anywhere. Yeah. so so then later Tyson is doodling in the break room on his break. He's trying to draw what he thinks the Red Ranger would be like. In Kroger Force version 2 universe, Power Rangers is a TV show, much like how in Digimon Tamers they watch season 1 and 2 the same way we do in real life. So he was they're going on about the Red Ranger. Now, in theory, you could now had my writing been tweaked a little bit. That's the way I was thinking when I wrote this. Like, oh, this is gonna be Kroger Force is gonna be like Power Rangers in the real world, and all the other Rangers with TV shows. But if I wasn't going by that logic, that could be tweaked to referencing previous Rangers. Like previous seasons, like from Mighty Morphin era up to this point. Had that been tweaked a little bit, and maybe he's probably a fan of some of the previous Rangers. So yeah, he's doing that. And then Alex and Donald come in there, and they sort of start a debate over that. Cause then they even bring up the fact that, well, wait, what about the White Ranger when he took over, referring to Tommy, of course. And they say he is the leader, but no, the Red Ranger is. But they said Tommy was the leader, and he was the White Ranger. And yeah, pretty much like your typical fan nerd discussion there. Like, well, no, technically, no, but no, but no. If he said no, but the Ranger said, and it just so happened the girls show up, Kiki and Cece, right at the same time that the store gets blown up. Boom. Whole store is blown up. Okay, so let's just think about this for a second. You blew up a store, and there's a bunch of employees and customers inside the store. In real life, everybody would be dead. However, that does not happen in my writing back that's one thing, like I say, in stuff that I'm writing now, I'm really trying to like I say, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm really working on stuff like that. I mean, even for a fantasy, you still gotta have some realism there. Just saying. Some realism, unless you're Looney Tunes, yeah. That's a different story. But this isn't the Looney Tune type of universe, though. Yeah, the whole story's blown up, and then this guy called Asen Silverstone shows up. I sort of imagined back then. I sort of imagined Asen looking similar to Valmont from the Jackie Chan Adventures animated series, the leader of the Dark Hand, and sometimes he'd be possessed by Shindu. Valmont, bring me the talismans now. So, Ace is being possessed by Kisura, just same guy from version 1. And he's looking for what's called the elemental gems. But then this time traveling wizard, Melvin, shows up and prevents him from getting the elemental stone and infuses them within the 5 employees: Tyson, Cece, Kiki, Alex, and Donald. And they rise up from the rubbish of the store with the different powers. And so this makes Asen, okay, you win this time, but I will be back. Why not just fight them now? You got a whole army of rock soldiers, and the power of this Kisura guy, and they don't fully understand the powers they have. And this one wizard, why not try to get them to fight them now? Sort of making me think of an sort of make me think of an error in Batman and Robin. I'll kill you next time. Why not kill him now? so so of course they take off for reasons, and then Melvin restores the store back to normal. I'm just going to take a wild guess and say, okay, so we can say the elemental stones revive the 5 employees who are about to become Power Rangers. So what about all the employees and customers? And they just come back a little later. Also, there's the fact of where this Kroger was located. A whole Kroger blows up, especially in its location. There is no way in the world in real life that there wouldn't be no news reporters or something, or a crowd of people like, oh, what's going on? Even if you could say that they ran when the evil alien showed up, they would have still somebody would have reported that. But that doesn't happen. Yeah, that's the continuity was not very strong with me back then. Yeah, well, not continuity. I'm sorry. Oh, what they call it? Oh, logical. Yeah, that ain't logical. so so Melvin restores the store magically back together. I guess we'll just say that he magically brought all the employees and customers back, and ironically, nobody comes back to where him and the 5 certain Kroger employees are at the moment, to see what's going on. Not even any other employees. I mean, I know it's in the break room, but you know, uh, you ain't gonna. No other employee comes back there at some point just randomly, like, hey, I'm on a break, or since the bathroom is back there near the break room, yeah, surprising that any customers don't show up while they're having their discussion. Mm-hmm. So, oh boy. So so then of course, yeah, Melvin tells them that they've got the power of these stones, the elemental stones. Tyson has the power of lightning. Kiki has the power of earth. Cece has the power of wind. Alex has the power of water. And Donald has the power of beasts. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why, but for some reason I thought of beast as an element back then. I don't know. I mean, yeah, and the power of beast is pretty much being able to turn into different animals, sort of like Beast Boy from Teen Titans, which is a cool power. But yeah, how is that an element power? Yeah, that was kind of an odd thought of mine back then. Um, so yeah, they got these powers, and now Kroger morphers. So they become the Kroger Force Power Rangers. Tyson Red, Kiki Yellow, Cece Pink, uh, Alice Blue, and Donald Green. So instead of a black ranger, we got a Green Ranger. Yeah, so it's red, yellow, pink, blue, and green. And they go in pursuit of the Rock Soldiers and Ace and Silverstone, to stop him from attacking another Kroger. Fight off the Rock Soldiers with their powers and stuff, lightning and water and wind and earth and beast. And then of course Sidara shows up to fight them, and they manage to actually defeat Sidara by combining their different powers into a howling funnel cannon. How this works, they take the wind power to make like a tornado, the earth power to create the debris in it, like what bees in a tornado. Tyson puts the lightning inside the tornado, and Alex makes, of course, the vapor to form the clouds that be in tornadoes. And then Donald roars into it, thus giving you the roaring lightning funnel cannon. And they pretty much defeat Zidara. Then as the series goes on in this version, Cece's mother is kind of is not very not um, isn't into the ideal of Cece being out there as a ranger because she's afraid that Cece will get hurt. She almost lost Cece in a fire years ago when Cece was a little kid. So she's pretty overprotective of Cece. By the way, Cece's mother is actually the head manager at the store. Yeah, no, in real life, I'm not completely sure if I don't really think that would be a possibility, being that directly family linked. But it's something now, yeah, something like that. Yeah, we kind of let that slide there in the so what happens what happens next that causes Cece to actually despite her mother trying to hold her back, she does eventually get through to her mother about I gotta I have a responsibility as a ranger to help them. And their next challenge, they end up facing these nanites, little which we've heard all about them pretty much in every source of comic book fiction there. Little cluster robots. I think they've been used in DC, Static Shock, Marvel with the nanite technology for Iron Man and Black Panther, and even in shows like Metabots there. So yeah, so so these nanites, they're fighting them with their powers and stuff. Eventually, the nanites gather into one big giant robot. So they need the Krogazords, and the Krogazords they call for in this version, type, excuse me, Kroger Red gets the Thunder Plane, Kroger Blue gets the Ocean Drill, Kroger Yellow gets a forklift, just like in version 1, Earth Lifter, and Kroger Pink gets a Wind Bullet Train. Interesting. And Kroger Green gets the it wasn't wait, I think it was a tractor. I think yeah it was a wild tractor. Yeah. So so these Zords go up against the giant nanite robot. Uh, they fight individually well, and then eventually, of course, they form the Megazord. The tractor and the forklift forming the legs, Thunderplane as the body, and sort of like the connecting to the legs, and then the train and the ocean driller as arms, and of course the heads formed as well. So yeah, that you got that, and they able to defeat the giant nanite robot. Uh, then, um, then on another note, there's a episode where the Rangers are just relaxing at the beach, just having a little good time. It's the day off and everything. But you know what they say: evil takes no rest. Because then they get attacked by, I think it was Sidara. They get attacked by two, um, by two armed guys. Two that you actually we actually there actually were terrorist villains in Kroger Force. So one of them, Kai Gun, has all this armor on and everything. Kai Gun, they always get his name wrong, like Kaipon, Kai Gun, Chiron, Kai Gun. That was kind of a running gag with him. Kai Gun attacks the beach and attack the beach, and of course the Rangers end up having to face off with him. Um, During their fight with him, they end up getting They end up getting their Kroger weapons. Um, which is for Tyson, he gets the Thunder Sword. CC gets the Earth the forklift daggers, and CC gets the wind cannon, just like from version 1, and also Alice gets the ocean driller, and Donald, in his case, he gets what's called the Giga Gun Shield. Yeah, so Giga Gun Shield. He got a shield, but it can fire some blast. And I guess if it was, I guess in some cases you would call it a Giga Laser Shield. Still works. So They use these weapons. They battle against Kai Gun, manage to defeat him. Meanwhile, Melvin uh, has went off because they've been spotting. There's this little boy that's been coming off and on since the nanite robot attack. So Melvin's kind of trying to see what's the deal with this little boy that's been running around the Rangers, and he runs into Grundy, which is Kai Gun's brother. Uh, Grundy and Melvin actually battle each other, and at the same time, Kaigon's defeated, and Kodran pops up out of the ocean of the beach waters, and they call for their Krogazords to come together and defeat Kodran. However, during the battle, they turns out Melvin is taken, but the Rangers are not aware of this just yet. Um, Following that episode, they end up going. They're back at work, and they have to get ready for a company visit. Now, company visits are not like what I'm about to tell you, what I'm about to say for the episode in the real world. Um, but this is what. See, back then when I first started Kroger, I knew there were people that worked at night, but I did not know that they worked after the store was closed. Like the store closed around like midnight or 1 o'clock, and then reopened at 6. I thought after the store closed, nobody was there. So yeah, I thought it was just the store was just empty. But that's not the case. Yeah, we have overnight workers that work there when the store is closed to keep things in order. Um, so so because I didn't know that, I was thinking that maybe they had Tyson, CC, Kiki, Donald, and Alex, along with another person, Frank, all there to help get the store cleaned up for a company visit, along with the managers as well. So they split up into different areas of the store to get them in order. Uh, there's a funny moment where Donald is in the produce department, kind of cleaning everything. He's singing to himself. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, and then he sees a fly, and he thinks for a moment, hmm, and turns into a frog, trying out of curiosity and licks the fly like a frog does. But yeah, it don't taste too good, and he turns back to human form and runs to the bathroom to spit the fly out. But then, I think either Grundy shows up, or yeah, I think him and also another monster called Flydon. So the two of them show up to attack. Uh, Donald tries to go in pursuit of Flydon. Alex ends up getting locked in the dairy cooler uh, by the monsters as Donald goes after Flydon. Uh, Transform after morphing, of course, and transforms into a walk into a I think it was into a bird, because Flydon has this army of is a has this army of wasps that he sends to the store, and Frank kind of freaks out seeing all this, like, oh my goodness, wasps and a demon bird. So he runs out the store. And so now it's all chaos in the store right now. There's even a funny moment where Frank says, I'm gonna call an ex I'm gonna have to call an exterminator and my pastor." So I guess to perform an exorcist. Um, so eventually they all get to the front of the store. There's a moment where Flydon encounters Tyson and uses one of his abilities known as the Beehive of Fear. Because one thing about Flydon, he's a master of insects and fear. And Tyson and Donald get trapped into this Beehive of Fear, and this projects Tyson's worst fear, which is, of course, wasp. And he ends up thinking that Donald is a giant wasp and ends up fighting against them until Donald gets through to him, like, "Hey man, I'm not a wasp, I'm Donald." This is actually based off of my actual encounter with wasps in real life. When I was a little kid, we went to my great grandpa's farm, um, and I was playing with his little dog named Shane, and while I was chasing the dog around the house, just playfully, running around. The dog took off running. I ran after him because I'm a little kid, and I didn't realize there was a wasp nest on top of the house. But this is the thing: I'm down here chasing a dog. The wasps are up there, so I'm not bothering the wasps at all. But yet these wasps, these sap sucking wasps, decide they're gonna. We got to sting him, and that's what they end up doing, and have me running back crying to my folks, in order running back to my like ah. So yeah, kind of. Yeah, I do not like wasps at all there, and I know somebody actually explained that there is a use for wasps, like out in the fields and stuff. Which okay, yeah, okay, that's fine and all, but yeah, keep them out there in the fields. Don't bring them in here in the city, in the neighborhood. Now, like I say, yeah. Now I did say we was out on the farm when this happened, but I still feel like hey, I wasn't bothering you, so why you sting me? Uh, sort of like an old bully from my high school. Didn't do anything to him, but he looks at me and like, I gotta beat you up. Suddenly, we're like Flaps the Flounder and SpongeBob. Hi, SpongeBob. I'm gonna beat you. Man, I'm gonna kick your butt. No, I mean it. Yeah, pretty much like that. So yeah, they get out of the beehive of fear. Everything they get to the front of the store, they're about to face off with Grondai and Flydon, and before they morph and get ready to fight, the head manager is like, hold it! There's enough damage in this store already. Okay, y'all take it outside. And there were two, in the store, the Kroger I worked at back then actually did have two automatic doors to go in and out of, on one on the left and one on the right at the front of the store. And in between was a big wall with windows. So what she said, okay, good guys out this door, bad guys out the other way. So they they go through the different doors. Now resume. Kroger Force, power up. That's the morphing code, by the way. If I hadn't mentioned it before, that's the morphing code for the Kroger Rangers to morph. Kroger Force, power up. So, and I forgot to tell you how the suits looked for both of these versions. What I imagined back then for the Kroger Force suits, pretty much like your standard Power Ranger suits, with the colors, red, blue, and all that. And they would have a big K printed on the front, which stood for Kroger. So, yep. And then in the later versions, which I'll explain that in another video, but the later versions they had the Kroger logo on the suits there. So of course they battled Grondai and Flydon and some rock soldiers. There was even a moment I forgot to mention where Alex actually got thrown into a diesel truck and it exploded, but he managed to survive. Only thing that happened to him was he came out of the explosion shirtless, but had his pants on but shirtless. There, fun service for the ladies. so, um, so they battle and everything. And then Flydon grows big. Pretty much like, make my monster grow. The Kroger Rangers get ready to summon the Zords, but apparently the SPD Rangers show up out of nowhere with their Zords, the Delta Runners. They form the Delta Squad Megazord and they take out Flydon. And of course the whole guilty innocent thing. It's judgment time. You are charged with coming into this store and causing chaos and disrupting the Kroger employees. Guilty. Prepare for confinement. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire! And Flydon defeated and captured. Just so then the Kroger Rangers they meet up with the SPD Rangers. They all kind of shake hands and everything. And then Kaigun shows up, revealing that they've captured Melvin. And at that very moment, a magical tornado shows up and sucks them all up into another world, which is the world of dream, which is the world of dreams. And of course, pretty much Yumiko. I just didn't have that name back then. Back then, I just called it the world of dreams. But now, Yumiko. So, which is dreams and imagination. So they wake up in this world, and the Kroger Rangers wake up and realize they've been not only demorphed, but they're little kids now for some reason. And Cece realizes that Tyson, as a little kid, looks similar to the other little kid that was running around at the beach. So so now they have to try. Turns out they're unable to morph the Kroger Rangers, so they have to try to find a way to morph, as well as also find the SPD Rangers. Um, Somehow Frank and the managers end up getting sucked into this world, and they and now we get encounters from some of the SPD villains. One of I think one of them, Bernard, General Benag, the one that faced Kruger, the Shadow Ranger. Bernag shows up to attack the managers and Frank and his pastor, and they're saved by the Omega Ranger that shows up. While of course the Shadow Ranger comes to fight off Bernag, the Omega Ranger is able to get all the other civilians to safety with the Omega Max cycle. And this is a funny reaction I put in with Frank and his pastor when they see, because it's like a giant motorcycle Zord. Like, whoa, sweet Jesus! Like, how did we get in there? Just jump, because literally that's how they get into the Zords. They jump in them. Yep, and it actually does work. So they're able to escape. Eventually, now at this point, I was kind of writing at random here. At this, eventually they run into Brownie and Dashtail, which two characters from my Yumiko novel series that I'm currently writing. Um, and Brownie and Dashtail, they make the Kroger Force Rangers wooden morphers and tell them that they can only use it once, so they have to use it wisely to morph in order to defeat their enemies and get things back to normal. They meet up with the little boy, find out his name is Jonah, as well as also the SPD Rangers, and then we get the team up battle against Grondai, Kaigun, and also a villain called Evilla, sort of like Cruella de Vil as a monster. Also with some of the SPD monsters like Bernag, of course. I think there was Shorty and Devastation, Morgana, because they had stole the Kroger Zords. So yeah, so it's a team up of heroes against a team up of villains. And of course, we get the Team Morph, Kroger Force Power Up, and SPD Emergency. And you have a total of 7 Rangers because Jonah is able to morph into Kroger Force White Ranger. And there's another person that actually was hanging around with Jonah in this world that they actually get to come over to their side. I think that's what happens. Not completely sure, but I think that's what happens. But it's a boy named Travis, and he morphs into Kroger Force Black, along with, of course, SPD Red, Blue, Green, Yellow, Pink, Shadow, and Omega. And they're able to defeat all their different villains and get back to the real world. And the only other things that I thought about after that was basically there was some new, I think some new the Beige Ranger again, pretty much the same story as version 1. And then also a trio of Rangers called the Trinity Rangers that came from space and kind of helped them out with something. And of course, battleizers, stuff like that. And that was pretty much it. There's pretty much all I had going with the first two versions of Kroger Force. So yeah, um, that was pretty much it. And then a while later, I did version 3 and then version 4. But that's gonna be another video. But for right now, I'm gonna end it right here. Definitely hope you guys enjoyed that. Say got some answers to a lot of some answers to what you probably were wondering and asking there. Also, as I said again, make sure you make comments and everything. Be sure to keep it family friendly. Um, Definitely like, share, subscribe. Say buy some of our available books, as well as also support us on Patreon, like AJ the Supreme. And also for newcomers, as well as you guys coming from those Power Ranger groups and first time to the channel, definitely check out the other videos we have here. There's quite a bit going. Got family videos, videos about my Yumiko series, my wife's Bubblina series, also and also other random videos and stuff like that. So definitely check out what this channel has to offer. Also check out EJ's channel because he's got some good stuff going. And yeah, we definitely got and we definitely gonna be having some plans in the future. So yeah, definitely check that out, and we will see y'all in the next video. Take care, everybody.